Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to take a look at Nisus Finance Services Co., Ltd.
Okay.
They're trying to kind of, change urban development in India and beyond.
Interesting.
And we got their recent earnings call transcript.
Yeah.
And wow, lots to unpack here.
It really is, yeah.
So much information.
Like a sneak peek into their strategy, how they're playing this whole, changing market.
So let's just lay it all out. Where do they stand? What's the deal?
Right.
Their business model, two main things.
Okay.
Asset management and advisory services.
Got it.
They're not just throwing money at projects.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually helping others figure out this whole financial urban development thing.
Yeah, and what's cool is they're using AI-powered funds.
Right.
It's not just about, algorithms picking stocks. It's like taking huge amounts of data, finding those promising projects, in areas that need it.
Interesting. Really fits with their Viksit Bharat mission.
Hold on, Viksit Bharat.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Developed India, basically.
Oh, okay.
They want to help development everywhere, not just the big cities, talking about those tier 2, tier 3 locations.
Yeah.
The places most investors don't even look at.
Right. So they're really putting their money where their mouth is.
Exactly.
Building that developed India idea, actually doing
Brick
it.
by brick, yeah.
And they're not limited to one type of project either, right?
Nope. Their portfolio is all over the place.
That's interesting.
Residential, commercial real estate. You got hospitality.
Wow.
Even data centers. Think about that.
Okay, so they're thinking about the bigger picture.
They get it, yeah.
All those things that make a city work,
The whole package, yeah.
And then there's that advisory services side.
Right.
It's they're the financial gurus.
Yeah, the Sherpas of the financial world.
Yeah, guiding those companies through, the ups and downs of the capital market.
It's a tough world out there.
It is.
So debt restructuring, equity syndication, all that complex stuff.
The stuff that makes or breaks you, yeah.
So they're playing both sides, investor A&D, advisor.
A powerful combo, right?
Yeah, pretty smart. But, okay, zoom out for a sec.
Okay.
What's the whole industry looking like these days?
Right.
Is this even a good time to be in urban infrastructure financing?
Oh, it's a great time. Really. Think about it.
Yeah.
India, population booming, cities growing like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs modern infrastructure.
Right, of course.
The World Bank, they say there's a $300 billion funding gap.
For real?
Just for real estate projects that are already happening.
Wow, that's a huge opportunity.
It is, yeah.
It's not just about, throwing money at the problem, though, is it?
No, it's bigger than that.
Yeah, it's about, shaping the future of these cities.
Exactly.
Making them work for people.
And that's what makes Nisus so interesting,
Yeah.
They're not just chasing profits. They really want to contribute to this Viksit Bharat idea.
It's a socially conscious way to do infrastructure financing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but let's be real. There's got to be competition.
Oh, there's definitely competition.
Yeah.
Big players, new companies popping up all the time. Mm-hmm. But Nisus, they know their strengths.
Like what?
They get the Indian market, they're flexible, and they're using technology in new ways, like that AI stuff.
They're not just along for the ride, they're trying to lead the way.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's look ahead. Sure. What's the next for Nisus?
Well, they just went public. IPO.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
Huge success.
Right.
Oversubscribed, 192 times.
What? 192 times?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Investors are definitely excited about them.
Wow, that's a lot of confidence.
It is, and it lets them grow faster now.
Yeah.
They're even looking at going international. A new fund focused on real estate in the GCC and EMEA regions.
Wow, that's bold.
It is.
Going beyond India.
They're ambitious, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
They want to hit $1 billion AUM by 2027.
Wow, that's a big goal.
And their Dubai operations are already moving.
Making moves?
Yeah, first investment, INR 455 crores.
So they're aiming high.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they got the resources to get there, too.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, exciting times for Nisus.
Absolutely.
But, no investment is without risk.
Right. Always got to look at the downsides.
What are we seeing here? Potential bumps in the road?
Well, their revenue model, it seems solid.
Okay.
But a lot of it comes from those advisory services.
Yeah, and that can be unpredictable, right?
Yeah. Kind of feast or famine.
That's got to be risky.
It is, yeah. And then there's a big chunk of their assets tied up in receivables.
Oh, okay.
They say everything's on schedule, but, something to keep an eye on.
For sure. Anything else flashing red?
Well, going international, it's promising.
Right.
But, there's always risks.
Right.
Regulations different in every country.
Mm-hmm.
Economies can change quickly.
Right.
And you're up against established players in those new markets.
It's a tough game.
It is, yeah.
Global expansion's never easy.
Nope.
Sounds like they're going to need all their skills to handle all that.
I'd like to be smart and fast.
Definitely adaptable.
Exactly.
Well, that's a lot to think about.
It is.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But we're just getting started.
This is just the beginning.
There's so much more to explore.
So much more to dig into.
Join us in the next part of our deep dive.
We'll go even deeper
as we unravel the intricacies of Nisus Finance.
It's going to be a wild ride.
Until then, keep those brains buzzing.
Stay curious out there.
And we'll catch you on the next dive.
See you soon.
All right, so we were talking about Nisus going global and
Right, the risks that come with that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big move.
Mm-hmm.
Huge move. And they're not hiding from the challenges, which is good.
Transparency is key.
Absolutely. And they lay it all out in their red herring prospectus, the RHP.
Okay, so the RHP, that's their pitch to investors.
Yeah, like their grand vision, what they want to achieve.
Oh, what's the headline? What's their big goal?
They're aiming for $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion in assets under management, AUM, by 2027.
Wow. That's a big jump from where they are now.
It is. It shows how much they're banking on this international expansion.
But hold on, the GCC, that's a whole different world compared to India, right?
Oh, yeah. Completely different ballgame.
Like different rules, different players, everything.
Everything, yeah.
So they can't just copy-paste their India strategy, can they?
Nope. They got to adapt, be flexible.
And are they aware of that? Do they get it?
They do, yeah. The RHP talks about it.
Okay.
They know going international is tough. They're not naive.
So how are they planning to approach it then?
Well, one thing they emphasize is partnerships.
Partnerships.
Yeah, with local players.
So teaming up with people who know the GCC inside and out.
Exactly. Leveraging that local expertise, those networks.
Like they're bringing their skills, and the local partners bring theirs.
Yeah. Combined effort.
Smart move. But even with the best partners, there are always surprises, right?
Always, especially in a new market.
So what are some of the specific risks they're facing in the GCC?
Well, one big one is regulation.
Regulation, yeah. Every country has its own rules.
Exactly. And the GCC, they have their own unique, evolving framework.
So what works in India might not work there.
Might not even be legal there, yeah.
So Nisus has to be really careful.
Super careful. They need to understand the rules.
And be ready to adapt if those rules change.
Oh, yeah. Constantly adapting, staying compliant.
Otherwise, they could face delays, legal issues, who knows what.
Project cancellations even can get messy.
Okay, regulation. That's a big one.
And then there's economic volatility.
Volatility, yeah, we talked about that before.
The GCC, they're tied to oil prices.
If oil prices drop, their economy could take a hit.
Exactly. And that would ripple through the real estate market.
Affecting projects, returns, everything.
Everything, yeah.
It's a reminder that they're not in control of everything.
Right. External factors can mess things up.
They're betting on those economies staying stable.
Which is a bet, not a guarantee.
Okay, so we got regulation, we got economic ups and downs, anything else?
Well, the competition?
Oh yeah, the GCC is a crowded market.
Very crowded. Big players, international firms. Everyone wants a piece.
So Nisus has to stand out somehow.
They gotta show what makes them special.
What's their edge?
They're talking a lot about innovation and technology.
Okay, like their AI-powered funds?
Exactly. They think that'll give them an advantage.
Help them find and assess opportunities faster.
And potentially reduce some of the risks.
Makes sense. So they're bringing their tech game to the GCC?
Trying to outsmart the competition, yeah.
Interesting approach, but let's not forget about India.
Right, their home turf.
They got to keep growing there too, right?
They do, and they have a plan for that.
What's the plan?
2 parts. First, they want to go deeper in their existing markets.
Okay, like strengthening those relationships.
Yeah, expanding their project portfolio.
Basically, becoming even more embedded in India.
Exactly, solidifying their position as a leader.
Makes sense. What's the second part?
New markets within India.
New markets, okay.
Especially those tier 2 and 3 cities.
Right, the ones we talked about before.
Yeah, aligning with that Viksit Bharat mission.
They see a lot of potential there.
Huge potential, untapped markets, lots of growth.
So it's like going deeper in the places they know and expanding into new areas within India.
At the same time, yeah.
All while going global? That's a lot to juggle.
Very ambitious, but there's a purpose behind it.
That Viksit Bharat idea, right?
It's more than just making money.
It's about development, making a positive impact.
They see themselves as a catalyst for change.
It's a compelling story.
It is, but the question is, can they pull it off?
Can they actually deliver on all these promises?
That's the big question.
And to answer that, we need to look at the risks.
The potential pitfalls, the things that could go wrong.
Okay, let's shift gears and do that.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty of those risks.
What are the red flags investors should be watching out for?
Let's dive in.
All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Risk.
Yeah, risk.
Every investment has it.
Exactly. And Nisus is no different.
Right.
Their earnings call and that RHP, they don't shy away from the potential problems.
No, they don't.
We gotta break this down, you know, help our listeners make smart decisions.
Absolutely. Transparency is key.
Yeah.
And gotta give them credit, they're not sugarcoating anything.
No.
And one thing that pops up right away, their reliance on those advisory services.
Oh, yeah. For a big chunk of their revenue.
Yeah.
We talked about that before, how it can be kind of...
unpredictable.
Yeah, unpredictable.
It's tied to those big deals, you know? And those can take time.
They don't just happen overnight.
No. So it's like feast or famine, you know?
Yeah, one quarter you're rolling it, the next, who knows?
Exactly. Makes it tough to predict that revenue consistently.
So for investors who want those, like steady returns,
right,
that's got to be a worry, right?
It's a red flag. Yeah.
It's a whole layer of uncertainty.
You're sure.
And that's where the smart investors, they start digging deeper.
Yeah, they want to see beyond those top line numbers.
What are these advisory services, really?
Right. What kind of deals are they doing?
Yeah.
Have they been successful in the past?
It's about figuring out if it's a reliable engine for growth or just a potential problem down the road.
Exactly.
Okay, something else I noticed in their financials. All those receivables.
Yeah.
A big chunk of their assets are tied up in those.
Break it down for the folks at home.
Yeah, what's that all about? Why should we care?
Receivables, basically it's money they're owed for work they've already done.
Like IOUs.
Exactly.
Okay.
And having a lot of them could mean cash flow problems.
Oh, I see.
If clients are slow to pay up, Nisus might struggle to cover their own costs.
Right.
Or fund new projects.
So it's like they have all these promises, but not the actual cash to make things happen.
Could create a bottleneck, yeah.
Now, they do say that everything's being paid on time.
They do, yeah.
But still, something to watch, right?
Definitely. Any delays, any defaults that could hurt them.
Investors got to be looking at, like, how old are those receivables?
Right.
Are the clients even good for it?
Exactly. Any signs of trouble.
It's not just the amount, it's the quality of those receivables.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about that global expansion again. Specifically, that move into the GCC and EMEA.
Ambitious. Lots of potential.
And also risky, right?
Oh, yeah. Tons of challenges.
What are some of the big ones they got to overcome?
Well, going international is always tricky, especially in those emerging markets. One of the biggest hurdles, regulations.
Every country's different.
Exactly. Different rules, different processes.
What works in India might not work in Dubai.
Or London. Yeah.
It's not just about having a good business. You got to play by their rules.
Got to master that compliance game.
It's a whole other skill set.
It is, yeah.
They need people on the ground who know the local laws.
Absolutely. Strong relationships with regulators.
Yeah, and be able to adapt quickly.
Because those policies, they can change.
Yeah, got to stay ahead of the curve.
If they don't, delays, legal issues, all that.
Yeah, not good.
Projects could even get shut down.
All right, so regulations, that's a big one.
It is.
What else? What other challenges are out there?
Economic volatility.
We've talked about that, the GCC and oil prices.
Right, but there's more to it.
Like what?
Currency swings, political instability.
Oh, yeah. You never know what could happen.
Unpredictable events, all that.
Creates a lot of uncertainty.
It does.
So diversification is key.
But absolutely. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Spread those investments around.
Different countries, different sectors.
Helps to balance out those risks.
If one market goes down, you're not sunk.
Exactly. Smart move.
And then, of course, the competition.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget about that.
PCC and EMEA, those are competitive markets.
Lots of big players already there.
Local giants, international firms, everyone wants a piece.
So Nisus has to prove themselves.
They got to show they're different.
Yeah, why should investors choose them?
They're talking a lot about agility, adaptability.
Okay, being able to move fast, adjust to changes.
Exactly. And tailoring their approach to each client.
Okay, makes sense. Anything else?
That technological edge.
Right, the AI-powered funds.
They're really pushing that as a differentiator.
It's interesting they're bringing tech into this old-school industry.
Trying to shake things up, be the innovators.
But tech isn't everything, right? What else sets them apart?
Their mission.
That Viksit Bharat thing.
Yeah, that commitment to sustainable, inclusive development.
That's a powerful message.
It is, and it resonates with a lot of investors these days.
People who want to do good with their money.
Not just chase profits.
It's a good story, but as we've said, there are risks.
Always risks.
Investing in Nisus, it's a bet.
On their ability to navigate all these challenges.
Can they pull off those ambitious plans?
And manage the risks along the way.
It's a high-stakes game.
Big rewards, but also potential downsides.
So for our listeners, here's the takeaway.
Okay.
Nisus Finance. Bold vision, compelling mission, proven track record.
In a tough market.
But, like any investment, you got to weigh the pros and cons.
Absolutely.
Do your research, look at their numbers, understand their strategy.
Make sure it fits your goals, your risk tolerance.
This deep dive, it's just the start.
Just tip of the iceberg.
Keep digging, stay informed, ask questions.
The more you know, the better your decisions.
Well said. It's been fascinating exploring Nisus Finance.
They're a company to watch, that's for sure.
They're making big moves.
Global ambitions.
We'll be keeping an eye on them.
Tough.
Until next time, keep diving deep, stay curious, and invest wisely.
See you on the next dive.